Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the pre-match press conference of match number 63 of the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022. That is going to take place tomorrow at Khalifa International Stadium. Please allow me to welcome coach of Morocco, Walid Regragui, and the team player number 14, Zakaria Bukhar. Translation is available on the FIFA interpretation app. If you would like to ask a question, please raise your hands and wait until we give you the microphone. Coach and Zakaria, your opening remarks.
Ok. Bonjour. Bon, ben, ça va être la plus mauvaise finale à jouer, mais on accepte.
I guess it's the worst game that we have to play, but we're still excited to play it despite the disappointment. We obviously would have liked for things to go differently. We would have liked to be in the actual final, but there's a third place to play for. We want to be on the podium. We want to finish our tournament beautifully. I think it's going to be quite difficult with fatigue. Also, it's a mental hurdle that we need to overcome. We know that Croatia also want to finish third place. We played them in our opening game, so it's a nice finisher for us as well. It will be no walk in the park tomorrow. Physically, we know that they've had one extra rest day. It's about this in terms of how we can ensure that we have the best team possible so that we can pull off that third place.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
A good game from us, but it was difficult. I think the second half we were better. We had to score, but unfortunately it didn't happen. But I think we can be proud that we played like this against France, and now we focus on the third place. Thank you.
Bonjour Walid, Morad Moutaouki.
Good afternoon, Walid.
Vous nous avez fait vivre des moments exceptionnels.
We have been through exceptional moments. You've been through exceptional moments during this World Cup. Now we need to rally our forces. And how are we going to ensure that we have the best foot forward against Croatia, who was the opening game for us as well? We need to clear our heads a little bit, because when you come out of a semi-final, it was the first time we'd ever played a semi-final in the World Cup. Emotions were running high, emotions were flaring, and it was quite difficult for us coming out of this game. However, my players still have that appetite. They want to finish well, and they know that they've still got one game with everything to play for. I think that they've understood what's at stake. Obviously, finishing third is not the same as finishing fourth, and it would be great to take a medal home with us. We want to ensure that we finish well, and my players have digested the defeat. I think that they also have got their heads around the fact that they're part of the best team in the world. They're in the semi-finals. We need to clear our heads and go into this game with our heads high.
I know Dutch television, but the question has to be in English, right? Yeah. Question to Zakaria. Could you explain a little bit about how you've experienced the World Cup personally, playing here, scoring here, reaching the semi-finals?
For me personally, it's amazing. I mean, it was a dream for me to play the World Cup. And I'm 22 years old now, to play World Cup, to score. Like I said, it was my biggest dream. And now we are fighting for the third place. It's something nobody expects. But like I said, it's like a dream coming true.
Thank you. Isaac Swila here, Citizen Kenya. Coach Regragui, good run so far. Tomorrow you face familiar opponents in Croatia, whom you played in the group stage. Probably, what do you expect of them, and basically what are the learning lessons probably for you and as a team from this tournament? English kindly.
Bah déjà, on savait que c'était une des meilleures équipes au monde.
We knew that it was going to be one of the best teams in the competition. After the first game, we know that our performance was very good, and we had a lot of people saying that Croatia was coming to the end of their cycle and that we could sweep the rug out of their feet, under their feet. We know that Croatia got a lot of stick because they weren't able to beat Morocco. Morocco was meant to be the underdog, and now we've both reached the semi-final. I believe that this game tomorrow will be very different to the first game. We know that there was a lot of respect, there was a lot of preparation, and there was a lot of hesitation during the first game, but I think that tomorrow there will be a lot more game time, there will be playing time. I'm not sure if it will be Modric's last World Cup game, but I know him as a player, and I know that he's one of the best players in the world. He's a competitor, he's a warrior, and I know that he's going to want to finish off his World Cup stint in style. When you're playing against a player such as Modric, who wants to finish on a great note, we need to respect this and we need to be wary of this. I hope that we're going to be able to put on a good show for the end of the competition. Once again, a lot of tactics. Both teams are going to be in it to win. And I think that it will be a more open game from both sides.
Continue with the questions. I would kindly ask our colleagues, photographers, to please leave the room. Thank you. No more photos. Our colleagues.
Good morning, Giel from Dutch Television NOS. Can I ask it in Dutch? Zakaria, kan ik het in het Nederlands vragen?
Ja.
Ja, hoe hebben jullie als ploeg deze nederlaag tegen Frankrijk verwerkt? En is dit dan de ergste wedstrijd om te spelen? Of ja, heeft het ook een...
Excuse me, would you please ask the question in English?
I'm sorry, man. Zakaria, is this the worst match to play? Or is it also a match you're looking forward to? And how did you and your teammates concede this match against France?
No, I think it's a good match to play because you can end third in the world. Something never happened for African team and for Morocco. And after the lose of France, of course we are disappointed. But like I said, we played good. We reached the semi-final of the World Cup. So after the game, a day later, we can be happy and proud.
Bonjour, coach.
Good afternoon, coach. I'm from Cameroon. My question is the following. You are playing Croatia tomorrow. And what have you players? How have you really instilled in them that they need to fight for this third place? Because the third place is just as important as playing a semi-final in the World Cup. And question for Zakaria. Zakaria, bravo for your performance. Well done. And if we think about this game against Croatia tomorrow, how will it be different from the opening game that you played against them in the group phases?
Yes, I think I have a good feeling about tomorrow. And how they're gonna play tomorrow, yeah, I think the same as the first game. It's not the same because it was the first game in the... So tomorrow we'll see what happened.
Pour nous, pour les motiver.
And for us, how did I motivate them? Well, I don't really need to motivate my teams. I think that they're at the World Cup. We're representing Morocco. Each game is important, even friendlies for our supporters. We want to win our friendlies. The objective tomorrow is to get that third place. We really want to push as far as we can go. We want to up our FIFA ranking. If we finish third in a World Cup, we'll be able to hike up our FIFA ranking. And then we know that the next African team that comes up against Morocco will know that we can give them a run for their money. Because not only did we get to the semi-finals, but we also managed to get our hands on that third place. We want to show what we're made of and also pave the way to a better future for Moroccan football. It would be extraordinary if we finish third in the World Cup.
Assalamu alaikum, Walid Regragui from Express News. I have two questions. The first question is, what is your opinion about the Moroccan king and what he said about the representation of the Moroccan team against France. And after your loss against France, what do you think about your chances now, and did it affect your concentration for tomorrow? Thank you.
La fédération a fait ce qu'elle devait
No,
faire.
not at all.
Pas que la France a fait pareil avec la Tunisie.
No, let's not forget that France did exactly the same thing. They lost against Tunisia. We know that there was an issue with refereeing that was flagged up by the French FA, and I think that all FAs have the right to do so. However, let's not take away from France's qualification, from the group phases, nor from the win. I think that when there are issues linked to refereeing, if there's been a mistake made, it's important to flag this up. We know that Sofiane Boufal mentioned this as well. Was there a penalty, and had the penalty been given, qualified for the final? I don't know. Nobody knows what the future would have had in store. However, when there are issues, all FAs have the right to flag this up. And we know that the French FA did this following their game against Tunisia. They complained because they didn't want to lose the 2 points, or the 3 points rather, against Tunisia. All's fair in love and war. Our FA wished to put forward this complaint, and I believe that they were right in doing so, but this doesn't change anything now for us and the outcome of the competition for us. We are also going to wish the best of luck to the French team for their final, but I think that yes, we should have had a penalty, and Soufiane should not have had that yellow card. What was the second question? The second question?
Walid, everything, of course, when we spoke about that the squad is going out of the World Cup and everyone expecting you to go out of the World Cup. So how did you maintain your focus? I'm sorry, I did not understand you.
C'est pas la fin. On joue demain un match.
It's not the end of the road for us. We've still got one game left. We're playing for the third place. And I think that any team in the world, even the best of nations, if they're playing for the third place, they're playing for their FIFA ranking. It's not the end of the road. And so after tomorrow's game, yes, we'll think about what the future has in store. There are other continental competitions that will be of paramount importance for us. Why? Because we will have completely different status following our stint at the World Cup, not only on an international stage, but also in Africa. We want to grow, and great nations are always looking to win all of their games. World Cups are only played every 4 years. Therefore, we've got 4 years to think about the next World Cup. We're going to think about continental competitions, and we want to be amongst the best, if not the best, African team. We know that the press and also the fans have had an exceptional competition with us. Morocco has given everything we had, and we have no regrets. We can hold our heads up high. We have really given everything. We went down to the grind. We came into this competition hoping to win it. But this is a stage that every team has to go through. For Africa, for us, each step means that there are different hurdles that need to be overcome to get to the final. But we're getting closer and closer. And maybe if we get the third place this time, we'll understand that our objective next time to win the World Cup isn't so crazy for an African or a Moroccan team.
Greetings to you, Tomislav Gabelic from the 24 Hours. First of all, a question for the head coach. We did not understand very well your statement. Who will you be playing for the third place? How many injured players do you have? And another question for the player. Did you talk to Halilhodžić? Did he send some messages or some congratulations to the team or to any of the players? Anyone can answer.
Alors, sur la traduction, il me dit qu'il n'a pas compris les déclarations. Mes déclarations sur quoi? Sur l'effectif?
After the game with France, you said at the press conference that you have a lot of injured players. and that you will have to include other players, the B team, which is quite unusual for the third place playoff to be playing with the subs, with the B player.
On a perdu notre capitaine pendant le match, Seyss.
We lost our captain, Romain Seyss, during the game. We took a risk with him, but it was a risk that was worth taking. We wanted to go out to battle with him leading our battalion. He was injured. We have a couple of other injured players as well, but we'll see how things go today. Mazarawi is also injured, took a little knock. We really pushed our players to their limits, but they still want to go out tomorrow and play again. But we're not going to be taking risks tomorrow for some of our players, especially for our captain, Romain Seyss. He's out. He's been ruled out for this game for the third place. However, I am confident, I trust our group, and I know that we will be able to give it our all tomorrow.
City. You forget the question.
Did you talk to Halil Hodzic? The question was, did you talk to Halil Hodzic, your previous head coach?
No.
Did he send any congratulations or any messages?
Anyone else from the team? Anyone else from the team?
Bonjour Walid, Renan de beIN Sport. Je voulais connaître un petit peu votre...
beIN Sport, I just wanted to have your opinion. What is the significance of the third place? Do you think it's the same for handball or basketball when everyone really wants that third place? And do you have anything that's really marked you during this World Cup stint? Honestly, for me, it's a little bit difficult. It's very complicated for both teams. We were talking about Croatia or Morocco. You were so disappointed. You've just lost a semi-final, and then 2 days later you have to go back out there? I'm sorry, I don't know. It's like the booby prize. No, I'm sorry for speaking like this. I understand that it should be important. I understand that it's better to finish third than fourth. But for me, my takeaway is that we just didn't get to the final. And even if I was in the final and I finished second, I'd be saying the same thing to you. We lost our semi-final. We want to be positive and as positive as possible for our supporters. Yes, finishing third would be great for our image. We will be on the podium. But you know what? Even if we win the game tomorrow, we won't have got to the final and we won't have won the World Cup. Therefore, yes, we're thinking about our FIFA ranking, but it's quite difficult for us and also for you, I guess, as journalists, because it's not really an important game, is it? But honestly speaking, we wanted to play in the final on Sunday, not tomorrow. That said, let's be positive about this. That's what I said to my players as well. This will be the 7th World Cup game that we're playing. The 16th of December we are today. So if you had asked each Moroccan if we would still be playing in the World Cup in Doha on the 17th of December, I think that they would have been proud and happy to even allow themselves to believe that that could be a probability. Therefore, it's extraordinary that we're still here. I think that 6 games in 20 years was our previous record, and now we've played 6 games in a month. This is priceless because even from experience point of view, we have gained so much experience. Every single time before we were out after the group stages, whereas now actually it's as if we've played 2 World Cups or even more. Therefore, we're really pushing this more than we've ever done before. That's beautiful from an experience point of view and for the boys as well. But obviously, we're takers. We'll take everything that we get. As a nation, we're disappointed. But what I really liked as a group is that, yes, there was disappointment, but they were so hungry for that win that they were upset that they didn't get to the final. I really like the mentality that I've seen with my boys. And now we're rallying up. Yes, okay, we have a competitive game tomorrow and we have to win. Good afternoon, coach. Matin Sport.
Salahia, Le Matin Sport. Coach Walid, last time you played an entirely different game. Are you going to play with the same strategy, with the same tactics? in tomorrow's fixture? And what about the new players you would be starting with in the starting 11 tomorrow? Could you tell us more? You talked also about the importance of that third place playoff. How do you feel about it today?
أول حاجة على التشكيلة c'est vrai que beaucoup de personnes parlent de ce système de jeu. Moi, à chaque fois en tant que technicien,
regarding the starting lineup,
un peu débattre justement de ce côté-là.
I really want to fight as much as I can. I've said this since the beginning of the competition. My formation wasn't important. It was really the play and what we do with the ball when we have it. Unfortunately, we conceded a goal with our formation after 5 minutes against France. But we would have probably conceded a second very quickly as well. However, we made a mistake. We had a player that slipped. Then we had another player that was able to play on the counter. They were up there at the far post. They were able to score the goal, and unfortunately, that's the name of the game. So we'll see what the strategy, what the tactics, what the formation will be tomorrow. But with regards to what I said about changing the squad, it depends on my injuries. It depends on how tired my boys are feeling. I'm not sure that they're going to be 100%, but I'm going to try and put our best foot forward and ensure that we've got the strongest players out there. If I've got to play a squad of 26 players, it's because I think that each of them is capable of playing a World Cup match. I'm not going to completely change my squad on its head, because if you change too many players, it's never good for team balance. However, I don't have any regrets with regards to my formation against France. If we think about the players that were available to me and the injuries and the choices that we had to make at the last minute, we needed to adapt, we needed to take the best options possible to ensure that we had the best chances possible to qualify. Sometimes your wages pay off and sometimes they don't. That's the name of the game.
Monsieur Walid, Fernando Valeque de Barros, freelancer Estado de São Paulo. D'abord, congratulations pour votre parcours.
Congratulations for your adventure. If we think about France once again, do you think that there were things that you could have cleaned up? Do you think that had you done things differently, the course of history for Moroccan football would have changed?
For Zakaria, I would like to know what changed in your mentality from the last cycle with the former trainer, with Monsieur Regragui. How must Mr. Regragui change your mind to play this World Cup, because you are so strong? Thank you very much.
بدأ أنت باش نكون صحيح أنا.
I think everybody see first of all how the team play tactically like a team. Also when players come in, you see the difference. It's not like if you don't start, you're angry. Everybody want to win. So everybody want the best for the team. And I think before it was not the same. And there are, I think, more things, but only thing I can say is that I think everybody is happy now that Walid is here.
صافي.
إلياس ديك المرة.
On y date. Non, si je dois changer quelque chose
If I were to change something with regards to the game against France, I think that the regrets that we have is that we weren't that far off. They just picked us to the post. We didn't think that there was a huge difference between us and them, and that's what is regrettable. I would have preferred, if I could have changed something, I would have preferred to have all of my players available and 100% fit. But then France didn't have Rabiot, they didn't have Benzema, they didn't have Pogba, they didn't have Conte either. So they could say the same thing. However, they can allow themselves to have absentees. However, with us, it's not quite the same. And in the future, this is something that we can work on. We can't be missing 3 of our defenders. Mazraoui started the game, he wasn't 100%. Aguerd, right at the last minute, he had to pull out. Saïs, he played at 60 or 70%, then he got injured during the first 10 minutes and I had to take him off. It was too much for us to handle. If I were to change something, maybe I took too many risks for the semi-final. Maybe. But this will be part of my experience and my learnings that I take as a new coach. But if I played the game, I would have done exactly the same thing.
Bonjour Walid, Fouad Smaïl d'Orixafem.
Fouad Smaïl, Coach, I have 2 very small questions. The first is, what did you do with your evening after the elimination? you got knocked out. How did you spend your evening? Second question. I know that you don't like the word revenge. You played Spain and Portugal in 2018. You played them again this time, and not only did you win, but you knocked them out. Now you're coming up against Croatia. Is revenge a dish that's best served sweet? No, not at all. For Croatia, I have so much respect for them and so much respect for this country. I think that they've got 4 million inhabitants, and if we look at the level of talent that's come out of this team, and also the team spirit that they show, it's extraordinary. It's a great example for us, even though I think that we have 6 or 7 times more inhabitants, but they've taken time, they've put into place the structure, they've got good club football, they've got a good mindset, and they give the best teams a run for their money. If we look at the past 2 World Cups, Croatia with its 4 million inhabitants has always been part of the 4 best teams. So no revenge, because we didn't actually lose against Croatia, it was a draw. And for us, we want to see how things have changed, see how we've evolved, have we become better, are we now capable of beating them from our opening game and our closing game? Are we better than them? But honestly, for that first game, Modric, hats off to him. He is exceptional. He's 37 years old, and what he's still doing at 37 years old is monumental. Modric has been a Ballon d'Or winner, and I completely understand why. So no, we're not looking for revenge. We're never out for revenge. We're always out for the challenge. We're up for the challenge. Beating Portugal and Spain was to show that between 2018 and 2022, we've kicked things up a notch, and I think that that's exactly the case. And we also have been able to evolve.
C'est pour ça que je suis encore moi je suis un compétiteur, j'ai toujours pas avalé encore la défaite.
That's also why I haven't digested the loss. Maybe you think I'm crazy, but I really thought we could win the World Cup after playing against Portugal, and especially regarding the game against France with all the absentees. I have more regrets, but now reality catches up with me, and I believe that it's France. That's how they win their matches, and they don't win them by chance. So I believe that any country that plays France believe that they're close to winning, but when you think you're close to winning, actually you're quite far from winning. And we will learn from this match in the future, and we will also learn from such matches for the future. And that's why you also have this bitter taste always, because you know that you're close to winning, but still you're knocked out, so you have to accept it. And today we are disappointed because there was so much support, enthusiasm for this team. The people started dreaming, and when you destroy a dream, well, of course we're disappointed for our country. But after tomorrow's game, hopefully we will look back and see that we've done something extraordinary.
Telegraaf newspaper from Amsterdam. Zakaria, what did you know about all the celebrations in your native town of Gorinchem during the World Cup? Did you have any sight on that, and did you have nice reactions from your former teammates from AZ or for PSV Eindhoven? And for the coach, Zakaria and Mazraoui, Ziyech and another one, Amrabat from Holland. Can you see in their place something that they had education in Holland at the Dutch football school?
Gorinchem, I think I see the videos. Everybody follow the games. Actually, the Moroccan, but also the Dutch people. I see also that NOS was there. They are very happy for me because Gorinchem is small. I'm the first one who plays the World Cup, and my former teammates, AZ, Alkmaar, PSV, everybody is happy for me. Send me a message. So yeah, I have contact with everybody.
Oui, les joueurs, forcément, ils ont fait toute leur formation.
Yes, of course, players trained and were trained in the Netherlands. We have many players who trained there. Formerly, the national team had many players coming from France, from French football. Now we have many binationals, players from different countries. We have those who speak Dutch, those from Belgium, those who speak French. Now we also have players that come from Spain, from Italy. So yes, of course, there is something Dutch in the way they play. Without criticizing the Netherlands that I saw lately is not the Netherlands that made me dream in the 1990s or before, or in the 80s. The Netherlands evolved in the way they played. And those players are well trained tactically, technically, and they also bring a certain culture, a culture of winning and of playing beautifully. So we benefit from it, and we try to do sort of a milkshake with all those players. So we have Dutch-speaking players in Morocco, but the heart is Moroccan.
Bonjour coach, félicitations. Samuel
Hi coach, congratulations, Samuel Billon, Cameroon Radio Television. Congratulations for your World Cup. You would have liked to reach the final. Now there will be a final between France and Argentina. How do you believe this match will be? It's the final for Messi, for Mbappe, for Deschamps. There are many records to beat. So how do you approach? What do you think this match will be? I believe it will be a balanced match, like for all finals, with many things at stake. There is of course the trophy, but there's also the trophy for the best player, best coach as well. I believe that Didier Deschamps showed over the past 10 years that he was the best head coach in the world. So I believe there's no debate there. Now for Mbappe, it's the same, I believe. He's one of the best players. He's playing against one of the best players in history, and if he wants to beat him, maybe this is an opportunity for him. And he placed the bar very high. So it will be a very interesting match. I hope it won't be too close and may the best team win, even though my heart, of course, will support France more because I grew up in France, but I have a lot of respect for Argentina, because the coach is the coach that I also played in my career, so I wish him all the best, and I hope that this will be a beautiful final for him. So, of course, the most important to see a beautiful match, and we'll see who will write history. Like you said, there are many things at stake. The third star for both countries is at stake. So yes, it's a beautiful match for FIFA, for football. So we're happy, we're enthusiastic, and may the best team win.
Walid Regragui and Zakaria Boukhal, player number 14. Thank you.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you.
Labor.